Detroit, Michigan, a city with a powerful history of resilience and community spirit. But on May 30, 2024, that spirit was shaken by a brutal act of domestic violence that claimed the life of a young mother and left her toddler fighting for survival. 19-year-old Javon Miller was more than just a statistic. She was a vibrant, photogenic, and loving young woman, full of dreams. A mother to 3-year-old Christian, Javon was determined to create a better life for her son while working towards becoming a nurse, following in the footsteps of her mother, Tanisha Hawkins, but behind her radiant smile was a silent struggle. Javon was in a relationship with 22-year-old Virgil Dan Brown, the father of her child. Family members later revealed that their relationship was marred by domestic abuse. Javon never disclosed the full extent of what she endured, leaving her family wishing they had seen more of the signs in time to save her. That early morning in May, everything changed. At 6:30 a.m., Detroit police received a chilling call reporting a shooting on Whitcomb Street near Tireman Avenue. When officers arrived minutes later, they found a scene of horror, Javon lying outside the apartment building with a gunshot wound to the head. Nearby, her little boy Christian lay critically injured, a bullet lodged in his neck. Investigators believe Javon had been trying to escape with her son when an argument with Virgil exploded into violence. In a fit of rage, Virgil shot Javon point-blank and then turned the gun on their 3-year-old son. Javon collapsed over Christian, as if her last instinct was to shield him from further harm. Christian was rushed to Sinai Grace Hospital, clinging to life. Javon didn't make it. Later that day, Virgil Dan Brown turned himself in to police. He was charged with first-degree murder, assault with intent to murder, child abuse, and multiple firearm charges. For Javon's mother, Tanisha, the grief is unbearable. "The fact that you left my baby outside like trash," she said through tears. Javon was anything but that. She was full of life. She loved her son more than anything. She was working to become a nurse. She had so many dreams. Christian's survival became the only light in this tragedy. Despite critical injuries, the little boy began to show signs of recovery. Family members say he is a fighter, much like his mother was in life. The murder of Javon Miller sent shockwaves through the Detroit community, sparking candlelight vigils and calls to action. Domestic violence advocates pointed to her story as a devastating reminder of the dangers victims face and the urgent need for intervention. "A person who puts their hands on you does not love you. If you see the signs, run. Get away immediately," Tanisha pleaded to others in abusive relationships. Javon's life was full of promise, and her death serves as a heartbreaking example of the consequences of unchecked domestic abuse. Her family vows to keep her memory alive by raising awareness and fighting for stronger protections for victims. Today, Christian continues to heal, surrounded by loved ones who remind him every day how much his mother loved him. And in Detroit, the name Javon Miller has become more than a headline. It's a call for change. There are several powerful lessons to draw from Javon Miller's story, especially about relationships, community, and the fight against domestic violence. 1. Domestic abuse is a serious warning sign. Don't ignore it. Abuse, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, is never love. Javon's story shows how dangerous it can be to stay in a toxic relationship hoping it will get better. Recognizing the signs early and leaving can save lives. 2. Silence protects abusers, not victims. Javon never fully disclosed the abuse she was experiencing, possibly out of fear, shame, or hope things would improve. This highlights the importance of safe spaces where victims can speak up without judgment and access immediate help. 3. Community awareness can prevent tragedy. Family, friends, and neighbors must learn to identify red flags of abuse. Checking in regularly and offering non-judgmental support can make it easier for victims to seek help before violence escalates. 4. Children are deeply affected by domestic violence. Christian's near-fatal injury shows that kids are not just witnesses but often direct victims. Protecting children means intervening early in abusive homes. 5. Leaving an abuser can be the most dangerous time. Javon was reportedly trying to leave when the shooting happened. This is a harsh reminder that victims need a safety plan and professional guidance when attempting to leave an abusive partner. 6. Love should never come with fear. A healthy relationship is built on respect and safety. If fear and control dominate the relationship, it's a sign to seek help immediately. 7. Domestic violence awareness saves lives. Javon's story underscores the urgent need for education on domestic violence in schools, workplaces, and communities. Knowing where to turn for help and how to support victims can prevent future tragedies. 8. Abuse doesn't always look obvious from the outside. Javon's bright personality and dreams masked the pain she was experiencing. It's a reminder that victims can be suffering in silence even if they seem happy on the surface. 9. Early intervention can save lives. If friends or family suspect abuse, stepping in and connecting the victim with resources even if they haven't spoken up can sometimes prevent tragedy. 10. Gun violence amplifies the dangers of domestic abuse. The easy access to a firearm turned an abusive relationship into a fatal encounter in seconds. This underscores the link between domestic violence and the need for stricter gun safety laws. 11. Victims often stay out of love or fear, not weakness. Javon may have stayed hoping to keep her family together or out of fear of retaliation. Understanding this helps us approach victims with compassion instead of blame. 12. Generational impact of domestic violence. Christian's trauma will last long after his physical wounds heal. This story reminds us that the effects of abuse ripple through generations if not addressed with care and support. 13. Healing requires community support. Vigils, prayers, and the outpouring of love from Detroit's community showed how crucial collective healing is after tragedy. Victims' families need that support to move forward. 14. Stories like Javon's should spark action. Sharing her story keeps her memory alive but also motivates conversations about safety planning, resources for victims, and holding abusers accountable. 15. It can happen to anyone. Javon was young, loving, had a career goal, and a supportive family. Her story is a sobering reminder that domestic violence can affect anyone regardless of age, background, or ambition.